Would you like to win and achieve success at what you do? Welcome to the Winner's Ways podcast, where we create winners every day. And now, your host, the author of Winner's Ways book and life coach, Bola Alabi.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of the Winner's Ways podcast. I'm your host, Bola Alabi. Today is episode 36 of this podcast, and we will continue on the interview preparation series that we started. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about the question, which is one of the commonly asked questions during interview. And that question is, what are your greatest strengths? This question is important, and I want to make sure that you are ready, that you are effective when answering this question during your interview. An interview is always an opportunity to sell yourself. It's a great opportunity to present and showcase your potential to the employer. You want to show your capability. You want to show the employer that you qualify for the position. And you want to make sure that you impress the hiring manager. So to do this, you must be well prepared and you must be memorable. And to be memorable, you have to know what you need to do when answering the question. So today, it's all about interview preparation series. And again, we are looking at the question, what are your greatest strengths? This question is an easy one because the interviewer is giving you an opportunity to blow your own trumpet. Yeah, he wants you to talk about yourself, and it's an opportunity to make a good impression to the hiring manager. So he wants to know more about you by assessing your areas of strength so that he can clearly understand what you bring to the table. That is, what are you going to contribute to the company once you get in to the company, once you are hired. So a good student must have strong stories and examples to share when talking about areas of strength. Well, in case you are not sure of how to respond to this question, today's episode is meant for you, because on today's show, I'll be guiding you and I'll educate you, and hopefully I'll instruct you on how to go about answering this question. So that next time when you are in front of an interviewer and they ask you about that question, what are your greatest strengths? You will be able to effectively, adequately answer this question. So how do I want you to go about this? I would like you to think about 4-letter word. It's an acronym. It's REST. Rest. That's the 4-letter word that I would like you to think about when answering the question, what are your greatest strengths? REST. Rest. So the first letter, R, it stands for relevance. So when you are asked the question about your greatest strength, I want you to make sure that you align your strengths to the position that you are applying to. And this, I'll give you an example. If you are applying for a position at a law firm, for example, it's okay to talk about your analytical skills, your research skills, your people skills, even your communication skills. And you can even talk about your ability to investigate, ability to persevere. Those are great skills to promote. Those are great skills that you can talk about when applying for a position at a law firm. So if you get to the interview and you start telling them about mathematics, you'll know that that's not closely aligned with the profession or with the role that you are applying to at the law firm. That's, let's say you are applying to become a lawyer in a law firm and you are promoting your skills in mathematics. It's not going to be relevant to that position. The interviewer does not want to know about your mathematics skills, so that's not relevant. So you must find something that is relevant to the role and talk about that skills. For example, if you are applying for a sales position, yes, you must be able to tell the interviewer that you love connecting with people. You must be able to tell them that, oh, you are resilient and you are competitive and you are very, very confident. So those skills are essential for a sales role. If you are applying to become an accountant in an accounting firm, yes, it's good to talk about your love for mathematics and numbers in general. Maybe you are applying to a company for an engineering role. Yes, you should talk about your attention to details. You should let them know that you are creative. You can talk about how you are a great team player and your great problem-solving skills. Those are relevant for an engineering position. Maybe your own is you are a medical doctor and you are just applying to an hospital to work there as a doctor. Yes, tell them that you are compassionate. Tell them that you know how to empathize with people. Those are good skills to actually talk about. Maybe if you are applying for a teaching role, tell them you love teaching. Tell them how you can break down complex equation and simplify it and explain it in a simple way to your students. So those are good things to talk about. Anyway, the message here is you need to understand your role you are applying to, and you need to know the skills that are essential to that role, and you should find a way that you can align your strengths to those skills. That means you must systematically connect your skills to those positions. So that's the first R, relevant. The E is enthusiasm. You have to be enthusiastic when you are talking about your strength. This is something you are great at. How do you want to talk about it convincingly? How do you want to talk about it persuasively? You must be enthusiastic. You must show some energy. You must be happy. Your face should lit up when you are talking about your strengths. So when you are in the front of the hiring manager and he asks you about your strength, you need to show some energy. You need to be enthusiastic. No one will want to work with an apathetic, passive, or boring individual with low energy. No, they want high energy people to work in their organization. They want enthusiastic people to work in that organization. So the reason why you need enthusiasm is that there may be times when it comes, the final choice will come between you and one other person. Guess what? The hiring manager is going to use to make that decision. It's going to look for who is actually enthusiastic about this position. You and this other guy may have equal technical experience, but if you show that you are enthusiastic about this position, you will most likely be getting the call that, hey, come on and join us. So make sure you are enthusiastic. Make sure you smile. Make sure you display strong interest in that job. Show that you are passionate. You must aim to leave a great impression whenever you go for an interview, and that includes displaying knowledge and experience about the role, as well as showing that you are enthusiastic about the position. So be memorable, my friend. I like the way Norman Vincent put it. He said, and I quote, "There's a real magic in enthusiasm. It spells the difference between mediocrity and accomplishment." We don't want mediocres on winners' ways. We want you to win. We want you to achieve and accomplish your goals. So when you are in the front of the hiring manager and you are asked that question, what are your greatest strengths? Make sure you talk with enthusiasm. Number 3, the S, specific. So when you're talking about your strengths, you should try as much as possible to be specific. It's not enough to say, "I'm a great team player," or "I'm the best in what I do." Nah, you can't just say, "I'm very analytical," or "I have great leadership skills." You should state those qualities, state those strengths, and back them up with concrete examples of some things that you've done in the past that portray the quality or strength that you are talking about. For example, if you are telling the hiring manager that you are a great team player, it would be nice to explain instances when you've participated in team events and describe your role in it and the result that you achieved because you were there in that team. If you are going to be talking about you have great analytical skills, you should back it up with some examples of situations where you used your analytical abilities to provide solutions to pressing problems in your organization. Please, please, please don't be generic. Don't just say, "I am the best." No, that's not acceptable. Don't just say, "I'm a great team player." No, that's not going to win it for you. Tell them your skills. Tell them your strength. Back it up with the examples. For example, when we talk about leadership skills, if you can say, "Oh, when I joined a team, the sales were down, the team morale was down, but because of you went in as the manager and you were able to help the team. Within 6 months, you transformed the team and the sales started trending up. The team became more motivated." Tell them these things, and that's going to help you in the process. And not only telling them, you should be able to explain how you got in, what you did, the process you set up, the motivation you put in the team, everything that helped you to change the trajectory and improve the company outlook. Those things must be explained. Finally, the last T, you should tell a story. I love storytelling. Interviewers will not forget your stories in a hurry. Your story can help bring the interviewer to your inner space so that he or she can have a taste of your experience without actually ever working with you. Great storytellers understand this concept in that they use their stories to connect directly with their audience and make them gain new perspectives. People like Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, they use stories to pass their message across to their audience, across to their followers regularly. So when you are talking about your strength, try and share some stories. This will help you to make a lasting impression and win the hearts of your interviewer. This is a very common interview question, so please do your due diligence and have some stories ready to go when you are asked this question. For example, let me give you an example. If you are applying to a sales role and you are talking about how you usually connect with people and display confidence while giving presentation to potential clients. Tell some stories about one of your experience when you were able to connect with your client and you were actually able to close the deal and make some sales. Telling stories will help bring your humanity and your experience, and everything will seem genuine to the interviewer, because stories really make you more relatable. It can even show you some vulnerability, and it can make people to rally around and come around and see things from your perspective. Storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. That's according to Robert McKee. And that's where I'm going to be ending today. Again, when you're in the front of the interviewers and you're asked, what are your greatest strengths? Think about these 4 letters word. R-E-S-T, rest. So your response, make sure it's relevant. Make sure you show some enthusiasm. Make sure you make it specific, and make sure you tell some stories. Till next time, again, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm your host, Bola Halabi. Now, go win.
This episode of Winner's Ways podcast has come to a close. We hope you enjoy and learn something from today's show. We want you to win and excel in all areas of your life, and we regularly explore and share information with our listeners to empower them to win. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more tips and strategies to help you find the success that you've always dreamt of. And don't forget to rate and review so that we can continue to bring you more podcast episodes to empower you. We will love to have you again next week. Now, keep winning.